costs lives. About a year ago, I was driving on a Chinese highway, and I came across a bad accident. Upon investigation, I saw a car that was all crumpled up and at about a 45-degree angle on the side of the road. Inside of it was a man who was badly hurt. His left arm was broken, his ribs were broken, his right arm was twisted around, there was great amounts of blood coming out of his nose and mouth, and his head was split open. And he was having trouble breathing, going, Well, this man needed help. But I don't speak Chinese, and I would not know how to explain to the operator where I am on the highway. So I needed to get help from somebody else. So I got on the road, and I started waving down cars right in front of it. And I saw a car, he came, he slowed down, he saw the accident, he saw me, and he drove right by. And boy, did that make me upset. So I tried to stop the next car. And again, the car just drove right by me. And the next car, and the next car. And nobody stopped to help. In about 1 hour of time, only 3 people on this highway bothered to stop. And the rest just slowed down, looked, and drove on. Now, why didn't they stop? Why didn't they help? Because they were probably thinking that maybe if they stopped, maybe I'd rob them. Or maybe they would get blamed for the accident. Or maybe they're thinking, well, this is not my problem, I don't need to get involved. But they were too afraid to stop. And consequently, it took about 2 hours until help arrived. And who showed up? A policeman showed up. Well, we didn't need a policeman. We needed an ambulance. We needed a doctor. But only a policeman showed up. So the man died. Now, some of those people early on would have called for help and seen that he needed an ambulance and not a policeman. Maybe the man would be alive. But they were too afraid. So you can see that a fool is fearful. He's ruled and controlled by fear. But a wise person is brave. He's not controlled by fear. And he's loving. Now here's a similar incident caught on film. Now watch how the people react. Here's an elderly man crossing the street, and 2 cars will pull out and he'll be hit. Now this is in broad daylight with many people around. Cars that hit him just run off. But watch how the cars just pass him right by. And all the people on the side of the road, no one stops to help him. Cars just look and drive right on. Here's a man paying the taxi fee, and he'll just walk right by. And finally, someone comes out, but they're just looking. No one's stopping to help. The other cars are just driving right by. Now finally, a policeman shows up. Now why didn't anyone take him out of the road or help him? Because many people are ruled by fear, or they just don't want to get involved. I hope you'll see that love is the highest wisdom. Okay, let's take another example. Here's a picture of two people. What is the difference between these two people? One is a movie star, and the other one is Mother Teresa. They're both beautiful people. The difference is this. The movie star is beautiful on the outside, but Mother Teresa was beautiful on the inside. So you can see that a fool only wants to be beautiful on the outside and cares nothing about the inside. But a wise person wants to be beautiful on the inside. Another example is this. A fool will show you his trophies and tell you of his great victories so that you will honor and respect them. But a wise person is not seeking after honor and respect. A wise man will tell you of his great failures so that you may learn from them and avoid his mistakes. Let's take this example. Here's a set of posters that are commonly found on kids' walls. You have a famous soccer player, a famous actor, a famous weightlifter, a famous singer, and a famous basketball player. Well, what's the pattern here? What is being celebrated? Each of these posters celebrates people for their outward ability and not for what's on the inside. These people are celebrated for their sports ability, or their strength, or their acting ability, or their singing ability. But you don't know what type of people these are on the inside. Maybe they're good, maybe they're not. A wise person will celebrate someone for what's on the inside and not their outward ability. Let's look at another example. Pretend you're on an airplane and a stewardess comes by with very hot coffee, and she spills the coffee right on your lap. Well, how would a foolish person react? A foolish person would lose control and would shout out his anger. A foolish person might say, "You idiot! How stupid could you be?" Now, how would a wise person react? A wise person would control themselves and not shout out insults. So you can see, a fool is uncontrolled. He has a sharp tongue, and he's easily provoked. But a wise person is self-controlled. He'll hold his tongue, and he is not easily provoked. Here's a good question. What is the difference between man and animal? Are we just smart monkeys? Well, one of the differences is how we treat the weak.